Hello students. So in the previous lectures we had seen how Metropolis Hastings algorithm works. We have also seen the practical sheet and we have also discussed its solution. We have also seen two examples of it. So now let us move further. So what can be the next? So what if you are dealing with a joint or a bivariate random variable, say x and y, whose joint distribution is fxy, but unfortunately the joint distribution is not known. Instead, what is given to you is the two conditional densities, that is if y given x is available and if x given y is available. Then how can you use the concept of Markov chains to generate a random sample from random sample on these bivariate random variables? So these xy. So how can you use this and how can you guarantee that ultimately you would be getting a random sample on xy, whatever procedure you are using? So base of the procedure remains the same. It is a Markov chain. Now, so it's like you have to generate a Markov chain in 2 dimensions, isn't it? So far you have always studied a Markov chain on 1 dimension. In the sense you have considered only one variable, right? You haven't considered bivariate Markov chain. So let us see how it goes. So are we really going to need a bivariate Markov chain in 2 dimensions, or what are we going to need? The solution, even though it could appear you to be very difficult, the solution is very simple. What you have to do is just focus on whatever is provided to you. Now what is provided to you? You are given the two conditional distributions. So suppose we take some starting value for one of the random variable, say x naught. Then what can be done is generate the other random variable from the conditional density of y given x naught, right? Because conditional density is given, so generate a random sample from random variable from this conditional density. Suppose it is yt. Now use this yt and generate a random variable from the conditional distribution of x given y, and go on doing this unless the chain converges. So it's like every time it's a kind of two-step Markov chain, isn't it? This is a Markov chain as well as this is going to be a Markov chain. So they are going to be dependent on each other. So does it actually work? Can we have a quick example of it that we can see? So for implementing the algorithm is very simple. So just for the sake of understanding, let us consider the bivariate normal distribution given here. This since this topic is very simple, I am not giving you any separate notes for Gibbs sampler, but I am referring to the book Introducing Monte Carlo Methods with R, chapter 7. So you can also refer to the same book. Everything is available here actually in this video, so you can refer to this video also. So suppose xy follow bivariate normal distribution with means zeros, and the variances are 1 and the correlation coefficient is so rho. So how can we implement the Gibbs sampler? So what we have to do is, let us first take some trial value of x, say xt. Then the next value of y can be generated from the conditional distribution of y given xt. So what will be the conditional distribution? So it will be normal with mean rho times the value of x and 1 minus rho square. And now use this value of y to generate random observation from the conditional distribution of x given y, like this. So what will happen ultimately because of this? You have yt like this and you have xt going like this. So basically the distribution of xt plus 1 given xt equal to xt. This will be normal because of these two, normal with mean rho square xt, and the variance will be 1 minus rho raised to 4. So how do we get this? So the usual normal probability algebra will give you this answer. So if you go on repeating this, what do you get? So you will get, if what will be the distribution? So the distribution of xt given x naught will be normal rho raised to 2t x naught, that will be the mean, and the variance will be 1 minus rho raised to 4t. So see, as the difference goes on increasing, what will happen means as you proceed further and further, this mean the rho as means, so t will tend to infinity. So as you go for large t, what will happen is this mean will be 0 and this variance will be 1. So does it actually happen? Do we actually get mean 0 and variance 1 if we follow this procedure? Shall we do it in R? Let us try to do this in R. So we are here in R. Let us try to execute what we have considered in the earlier part of the lecture. So I am taking 10,000 sample size and I am considering rho as 0.5. So first we will generate x, then y. So let us take some starting value of x. So let us take it to be 0. So what we are going to do is we are going to generate y from the conditional distribution of y given x, and then we are going to generate x from the conditional distribution of x given y, so that we will have the paired observations x1 y1. So x1 will give you y1, y1 will give you x2, x2 will give you y2, and so on. So this is how it is implemented. Standard deviation I am computing first. Don't forget that in R you have to give standard deviation and not variance. So let us try to run this portion first. Okay, now let us have a look at the density plot. Does it look like normal? Yes, very much. Now, since we are dealing with Markov chain, so the observations may be dependent. So let us look at the ACF. So yes, you can see a little bit, not much, but yes, the correlation is more than 0.2. So what we can do is we can consider every means second observation. So first observation, third observation, fifth observation, and so on. So what will happen if we filter out the rest of the values and consider these new observations alone? So x new I have taken like this. So ACF of x new, as you can notice, okay, now it is gone. Let us apply the Shapiro test for this. So looks all right. The normality is accepted here. P value is more than 0.1, so you are not rejecting the null hypothesis. The null hypothesis is that the observations are following normal distribution, normal 0 1. So yes. What about y now? Let us look at the ACF of y. So again the same story. So let us filter out. Let us take every second value. So then let us look at the ACF of new version of y. So looks all right. Then let us consider the Shapiro test. So it clearly indicates that y is following normal distribution. Just to be extra sure, let us look at the histogram of x. So what is it? So I have given the limits already, a little bit more than it actually could be. So 0.4 I have given as y limit, and x limits I have given as -5 to 5. Now I am computing normal density and I am imposing normal curve on this. So as you can see, it looks like a normal curve here. So the histogram is looking like a normal curve. So we can safely say that x is definitely following normal distribution. What about the other? X, what we expect is x should be a random sample from standard normal. So is it applicable to y also? So let us check. So y, okay, this is the histogram of y, and again impose the normal curve. So yes, here it is. So see, when the code is already written, it doesn't take more than even 4 minutes to explain it. But writing the code takes time. So you should practice more for writing the codes. So this will be the application of Gibbs sampler. We will consider one more example. Let us first derive the conditional distributions and then we will try to implement it.